Hey guys, this is the final episode of the test review. So let's do it. Part 3, questions 11 through 15, all about circles. Which of the following, well, we should talk about the equation of a circle. The equation of a circle looks like this. Something squared plus something squared equals something squared. Which should remind you of Pythagorean theorem. Okay, but instead of an A, it's an X minus H. Instead of a B, it's a Y minus K. And instead of a C, it's an R squared. Forgot the square. There it is. So there's the equation of a circle. And in that equation of the circle, the H and the K represent the center. And the R is the radius. So, so this part is always the radius squared, and notice how there's a minus sign there. So whatever you see in the equation is the opposite of what the center is. Okay? So if I want to know which of the following is the equation for a circle with a center, that means H is 3. And K is 7, and R is 5. So I'm just going to fill in the blanks. X minus, because the equation tells me it's a minus, X minus 3 squared. Plus, this says Y minus K, so Y minus 7 squared equals R squared. So that's 5 squared. So I have to find the equation in here that says X minus 3 squared plus Y minus 7 squared equals 5 squared. So when you do this, make sure you see that 5 squared there, and you're like, okay, that's 25. So the equation I'm looking for needs to have an X minus 3 squared. Well, it could be this first one. It's definitely not that one. That's wrong. Get out of here. This one's X plus 3. Get out of here. And it could be this one. So it's either the first or the last one. They both have the Y minus 7 parts, right? That's cool. But if you look at it, this has a 5. This one has a 25. So we need the one that says 5 squared. Well, that means this first one is wrong because it just says 5. We need the one that says 5 squared, which is this guy. So ding, 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 we have a winner. There it is. Moving on. Number 12, which of the following is the equation? Oh, so all you got to do is the same thing you just did, except you need to figure out what the center is. You need to figure out what the radius is from the picture, from the graph. Well, the coordinates of the center here's the origin down here. The coordinates of the center are -1, -2 on the x-axis, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the y-axis. So the coordinates of the center are -2, 6. And then the radius, also known as the radius. Let's see. The radius goes from the center to a point on the circle. So I like to either do it as a horizontal or a vertical line. I'm just going to do this one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the radius is 5. So now that I have the center and the radius, I can do this problem just like the last one. I can say that it's got to follow the form that I see above. So it's got to be X minus H. So our H and K are right here. H is a -2. So X minus -2 squared plus Y minus K. K is a +6. So Y minus 6 squared equals, oh, I'm running out of room. Oh, no. Equals the radius squared. So it's another 5. And the radius is not always 5, okay? Just a coincidence. So that does say 5 squared. Remember, that's muy importante that we square that radius at the end there. So our final answer, see how we have these two negative signs next to each other? So it's actually going to say x plus 2 squared plus y minus 6 squared equals a 25. A 25. So I got to find the answer that matches that, and it looks like it is the first one. First one looks good. All right, almost done. Question 13. Here we go. Which of the following is the equation of the circle centered at the origin? Centered at the origin, that means the origin is 0, 0, so your h and your k are both 0, and r equals the square root of 5. Dude, it's just filling in the blanks. So x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals the square root of 5 squared. Well, let's clean it up. X minus 0 is just x. Y minus 0 is just y. So it's just an x squared plus a y squared. And the square root of 5 squared? Oh, dude. Dude, the square root and the square totally cancel out. Yeah, that just happened. So my final answer is x squared plus y squared equals 5. So the last choice. Next question. Which of the following is the graph of the circle with the equation? So, all right. So remember how the form had a minus h and a minus k. That basically says that h is the opposite of whatever you see here, and k is the opposite of whatever you see there. The negative sign is kind of like the word opposite. So I can easily take a look at this and be like, okay, this must have been, x minus negative 1. You could think of it like that. And you could think of, hey, the h is negative 1. Or you can just think like a normal person and just think, hey, it's going to be the opposite. Okay? It's going to be the opposite of positive 1. Negative 1. So there's your h. Now let's find the k, the other coordinate of the center. Well, since that says y minus 2, remember, you got to put the opposite. So put a positive 2. So our center is negative 1, comma 2. Just think, it's the opposite. Think opposite. Kind of like when I tell you to focus in class and you usually do the opposite. Last up, we know that this is the r squared part. The r squared part. So if r squared is 16, okay, r squared equals 16, and I said, hey, what's regular r? You'd say, well, you got a square root to both sides, okay? And that means r equals the square root of 16 is 4. So our center is negative 1, 2, and our radius equals 4. Awesome. And then last up, the point 2, 6 is on the circle with a radius of 3 and a center of 4. What is this even asking? Okay. It's true or false. So let's pretend like we don't know the radius. Let's just see what we got going on here. Let's figure out if this point is actually, let's just see what happens. So I've got my equation, x minus h and k, we got them right here, the center, h and k, x minus 4 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals the radius squared. I guess I could just plug in all the missing pieces to this puzzle, all the stuff. I have some random points, some random x, y I can plug in, and I have an r. So I guess what I'm thinking we're going to do here is we're going to plug all of this stuff in, and we're going to see if it actually is equal. Super fun. So plugging in the x and the y. So in place of x, we'll put a 2. In place of y, we'll put that 6. And in place of r, we'll put a 3. The ones we did in class, we didn't have all this information. We had to figure out what the R was. So this one's even easier, kind of. Maybe not. 2 minus 4 is a negative 2. 6 minus 5 is a positive 1. All right, so now let's see if this is true. The moment of truth here. Dun, dun, dun. Negative 2 squared is 4. It's like saying negative 2 times negative 2. It's a positive 4. 1 squared is 1. And 3 squared is 9. So this tells me that 4 plus 1 is equal to 9. I could go get my 5-year-old daughter in here and ask her if 4 plus 1 equals 9, and she would say, "No, Daddy." Okay? But I'm not going to do that because she's watching cartoons. So 5 does not equal 9. It's not true. That point is going to have a radius that's not equal to 3. So no, it's not true. No, it's not true. Another way to say it's not true is to say that it's false. All right, I hope you learned something, or at least got the answers right, because that's good too. Bye.